We've come here, Mackenzie Printery. We're going to have a little look around inside. It's a museum. Because it's kind of historic. The influential Journal of Radical Reform was first published on May 18th, 1824 at Queenston, which is where we're at, by William Lyon Mackenzie, a native of Scotland. He had immigrated to Upper Canada in 1820. 3 years later settled here and opened a general store, and then he established a printing office in his home on this site, but in November 1824 moved to York in Toronto. You can read the rest. Ooh. So we're going to go and check out the museum, I think. I just wondered if this was his former home. I guess we'll find out, won't we? But before we go in, let's go and check everything else out. It's pretty interesting. Look at that. Nice. Nice. There you go, this was his home. So he started the printery in this house where he lived before moving to Toronto. It's a lovely home. Look at that. Kind of awesome. guys, really interesting tour. A little bit about Mackenzie, but also mainly about the sort of history of printing, really. You cannot take video inside, but there's plenty of photographs I've taken. Some of the old presses that showed you how they actually put things together effectively. We made a poster in there too, which I've taken pictures of the process. But this was his house. Unfortunately, they believe there was a fire here at some point, so it was in ruins, but it's been rebuilt sort of pretty much to how it would have been. So a historic place and pretty awesome, I would say, other than you're not allowed to film inside, but I found it quite interesting. Did you find it interesting, Adam?
It was very interesting. I haven't been here since I was a kid for a school tour, and I didn't know that we were actually going to go on a tour. I thought we were just going to take a look around.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting and informative.
And we were saying, weren't we, how long would it have taken them back in the day to actually print a newspaper edition?
That would take a long time. That was quite the process.
And what was interesting as well, we learned where the upper and lower came from with regards to letters.
And lowercase.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We keep the uppercase in the uppercase and the lowercase letters in the lowercase.
Yeah, so that's come from printing, and there was something else as well that came from printing. What was that?
Well, there was the most popular letters had their bigger space in
Yeah.
the case.
Yeah.
And the less used letters had smaller spaces in the case. And said that in different languages, obviously it's going to be different letters in the bigger cases.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of does. But awesome little tour. Very historic site. I enjoyed that. Mackenzie Printery. Now, let's go somewhere else, shall we?
Yes, off we go.